I found my hotel very easily. Well, with a little help from Google Maps, of course. I was at the hotel about 9:30, I think, and of course my room wasn't ready for me. So I just jumped into my shorts and left the baggage at the hotel. I switched on Google Maps once again and headed down to Old Town Hall. I had decided to take a guided tour around the main city hall. So I was entitled to go to the chapel of the Virgin Mary, the historical halls, and the Gothic underground, and the town hall tower. I started out with the town hall tower. So just walking up the bell tower, and it's a long way. Well, you could pay for an extra ticket to use the elevator, but I didn't know that, so see, the elevator is coming down again. Oh, he just gave me a thumbs up. That's nice. But I'm not at the top yet, so I'll just keep climbing. Oh, that's a red light. To walk up the spiral stairs. So. The tower is almost 70 meters high and is dating back to the 14th century. Oh my god, some people can't just wait. So this way, do you think they got that? But wow, what a view. So welcome to Prague. The river Vltava runs through the city, and the charming capital is especially known for its many bridges that bring the city together in the most beautiful way. The Old Town Hall was established in 1338 as the seat of the old town's administration. And I must say, I think I got the day's exercise climbing this tower. Oh my god, what just happened? I went to the meeting point and a tour started. I didn't care. Well, I didn't ask if it was the right tour, but no, it wasn't. So I went on the wrong tour, and when we ended up in the city center square, and the guide said, "Oh, are everybody going back to the hotel with me?" So that was when I realized I was in the wrong tour. So I went back into the tickets counter, and sadly I had to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I think I went on the wrong tour." Oh, the lady behind the desk, she was so friendly because she said, "Didn't you see a blonde woman?" No. But she gave me another slot, so I have had about 1 hour before I could get on the next tour. So now I'm going into the church, and it can be difficult to find the entrance because I think it's between those two restaurants. So we will walk in and see. It's such a beautiful church, and you can see the two towers from far away. It may be a bit difficult to find the entrance, but there is a small alleyway between the two restaurants, and from here you can get into the church. Inside the church you will see beautiful decorations, and there are something else quite interesting, well, at least if you're Danish. A man called Tycho Brahe is actually buried here. On November 11, 1572, he observed the new star, Nova Stella, in the constellation Cassiopeia. He was a world-famous Danish astronomer. He was born on December 14, 1546, and died in Prague on October 24, 1601. So why did Tycho Brahe leave Denmark? Well, his arrogancy and great power became too much for the new king Christian IV. The king wanted to get rid of him, and Tycho Brahe had to leave the country, and the scientist lived his last year in exile in Prague with Emperor Rudolf II. This is the star. Oh my god. This is Starmoske Namaste. I have no idea how to say this because, well, I don't speak Czech. And when you're in Prague, you need to experience this square because it's full of life. You will find many cafes, restaurants, and a lot to look at. And it's impressive that it was not destroyed during World War II. All you have to do is start down small roads and winding corners, and suddenly, well, you never know where you will end up. God, this must be good because there are always such a long line for this. I have to try a langos before I leave. This is at Tradelnik, and it's a tourist. Well, I almost said trap, but no, it's a dessert, and it's not even a Czech traditional food. It's also called a chimney cake, and it's actually from Hungary. So despite it's not being Czech, it's fun. It's a dessert to grab when you're strolling through the Prague's old town. And you can find this everywhere. Everywhere you turn your head, there's a store with this. Back in the day, you only got sugar and cinnamon on this one. But today you can get ice cream, caramel, fruit, yeah, you name it. I had to have one of these, so I got the pistachio caramel. It's your ice cream with a lot of caramel on it. Just chocolate out here. So if you come here, you have to try it, but it's mostly for this one. I paid 190 Czech krona for this one, and it's a bit messy, but it's good. And it's, oh my god, it's crunchy. There's some cinnamon taste in here too.
Prague. 3 towers and an open gate. That's the basic symbol for Prague. Above, you'll see the coat of arms of Prague, the more fancy version for the more formal of occasions. That's the version which used to be used up until the Habsburgs came around. The Habsburgs, they loved to put their own insignia, their own logos onto everything, and Prague could not be an exception. This place is called the Václav Hrošek Hall, and it was named after the painter of Western as well as Eastern paintings. If you forgot what he looked like, he'll remind you. That's him, again. But this time, he got a little carried away. See, this is his father-in-law, and except for the man in white, not one of the other people is an actual historical figure. They're either all his friends or rich people of Prague who paid to be painted on here. We're not even underground. This is ground floor. This is street level, but it's used to flood a lot. And solve that problem. Roundup. All of the water, well, all of the wells went dry. There was no water in them, and they needed to find a new source of water. They knew that the river was too dirty to drink from, and so they used rainwater. And they had these makeshift pipes, and they would pipe the rainwater into the old wells and use the wells as reservoirs. That had its own problems, and soon they discovered that kids who drank a lot of beer were much healthier than those who drank a lot of water. Now, naturally, we now know that this was because when brewing the beer, you killed the bacteria, which was making them ill in the first place, and tea would have very well worked the same, but they didn't have tea. They had beer, and so beer is what they drank. Now, back then, of course, beer looked a lot different than right now. It was definitely not transparent or see-through. It was more of this stew. It was oftentimes served hot, and mothers made beer in their own homes for their kids and husbands. And through this whole culture of beer brewing was born in Bohemia, which still is. The Czechs are the highest beer drinkers per capita in the world. It's not even close. If the Czechs drink 40% less beer than they do right now, they'd still be number one. It's insane. So if you want to have your best pint of beer in Prague, you'd have to go for a Pilsner from the city of Pilsen, not Prague, or alternatively, a Budweiser from the city of Budweis, not the American one. That's just a copy.
And here on the Old Town Square you will find so many options for tours around the city. You will also find the big bus company here in Prague, but the buses, well, they're not that big here. There are so much history here, but I can't get into all that. That will fill so much, so you have to Google it if you're interested. And it's also here you find the unique astronomical clock. It's a little bit funny because it only lasts about 30 seconds, and every hour on the hour people will appear. Before I continue this day, well, it's only 2 o'clock, but I need a nap because I've been up since 3 a.m. So in my next video, I will take you to the fruit market and I will eat lunch at the railway restaurant. It's, yeah, well, you just have to see that. And after that, I will walk down to Franz Kafka rotating head. Yeah, that sounds strange, right? And see the sun go down over. And see the sun setting at Charles Bridge. So I'll see you there. Bye.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.